What is my presence in this business actually producing? By the way, let's get past the fluff here, okay? Not what do you want it to produce and what are you hoping to work towards and what are your long-term goals? We talk about what are you actually producing right now in your team, in your revenue, in your culture. Very few people focused on their career, even builders and entrepreneurs, very few people ask this question to themselves. And I think by missing that question, you are costing a lot more than you think you're costing yourself. I want to know what you're actually producing today because it's the best indicator of how I can help you move your career forward tomorrow with your team, maybe revenue you want to generate, maybe growing your business as an entrepreneur. We like to run our business with practical, effective tools. And so here's by the end of this training today, you're going to get somewhat on time, we're going to be direct and honest, but we're going to get what most leaders don't get, is a crystal clear picture of where you start. I refer to it, and we have this framework. It is the Presence Leadership Framework. Big fancy word, guys, gals. Here's what it really means. It's 5 A's if you want to keep it. It's a PLF if you like acronyms. It's simple. It's awaken. You then align, then you activate, you amplify what you're doing, and you assess. That is an operating system that is repeatable in our business every single day. I think about PLF as a framework that can be applied in literally every part of my business. Take it small, take it big, whatever my decision making is. If there's a central thread of success, I need to be questioning this and seeing if I can apply this framework to it. That's how I've built a huge business. That's how we're gonna help you get what you wanna accomplish in yours as well. And so let's walk through this together. No checklist, no nonsense, a system I run continuously throughout my operating system of my mind, okay? Let's go through each one together. Let's start with the first of the 5 A's, which is awaken. Awaken is about seeing what I know is actually happening versus what I think is actually happening, okay? Help me understand that a little bit more, unpack that a little bit, Josh, right? So the awaken question that I really teach, and we go through this, especially in this 6-week program, is that what I am not seeing about the way I'm showing up is massively affecting my business right now. And I need to ask that question, what am I not seeing in my presence that's affecting my business? And when I ask that question, and I score myself in that question, and I say, well, how am I doing in this awaken stage? And what's that look like inside of my business? It looks like this. And by the way, we see this a lot and often. Managers that keep having the same conversations with the same people getting the same results. Problems keep coming back. Leaders keep getting surprised by things that just repeat themselves. And it's super frustrating, right? On the opposite side of that, when you run the awaken stage effectively, you read the room a lot better. You read your people a lot better. You read your energy a lot better. Are you seeing a trend here? You start to adjust before the problem presents itself. So that's really awakening. So our second A in this phase is align. Okay, so if we think about align, our line is pause for a minute. We take our thoughts, our emotions, our identity, and we come into agreement with the outcome that we want. Okay, big fancy talk. Dig into that. Let's unpack it together. The align question I always repeat to my team is pretty straightforward. It's where is the gap between the leader I want to be and the leader who actually shows up? That is your aligning question. And anytime there's miscommunication, anytime there's inconsistency, anytime with a team stops trusting what I'm saying, it's because I'm not matching with what I do. But take the inverse of that. When I align really well, I know what I stand for. I know my decisions are really consistent. I know my team doesn't have to guess what version of me is showing up today. Isn't that fun? And so that stage is really effective to make sure that our mindset is in the right place. Here's where it starts getting fun though. You get those 2 stages right and you get to move to activate. So what is our activate stage? So activate is taking that alignment that has now become action, and now we're gonna build on the gap of our goal, okay? You now know what to do. You've aligned to it. You've taken a minute to think about it. You just haven't done it yet. And here's where the activate question that I think resonates really strongly with people, and it's very easy to ask yourself, what is the one specific action that I could do that's ready for me to take right now? It is almost always a conversation. It's almost always the one you've been avoiding, and it's almost always the one that your team has been waiting for you to do. It's very costly when you avoid it. You knew you needed to effectively move forward with it, but you've just been avoiding it. Stage 4, we've now moved into amplification. Amplification is where you take my individual presence and now it becomes a collective momentum. Now you start seeing the team come alongside of you. The question that kind of helps us get to that place, again, we go through this in our 6-week program, is what would be possible for my team if I changed how I showed up? And think about it this way. When the best team you've ever seen, the best energy, the best ownership, the best initiative, that did not happen by accident. It happened because there was a person in the room operating at a standard that made like average and ordinary completely unacceptable. And I love that. You move to stage 5. You're now at the 5th A in our cycle, which is assess. So assess, we're now in the back end of this cycle. We really want to do this. We want to take a moment. We want to turn the experience into intelligence. Everything up to this point, stages 1, 2, 3, and 4, we've been part of the experience. Now we want to capture it. And so the assess question is this: what results do I want to see differently in the future? What do I wish was different? No judgment, no nuisance, no data points I need about this. This is a leader who compounds results, and these are the ones that assess without an ego. Let me give you an example of what this looks like in that real moment. In fact, with this young lady that we're going through the program with, she had, and we talked through this, she had a performance was kind of declining. We got that team member that isn't where we want it. You've noticed it, they've noticed it, the people around her have noticed it, and nobody's having the conversation that needs to have happen. How do we apply PLF to this? Let's go through it together. First, we're gonna pause and we're awakening for a second, and we're gonna say this to ourselves: what have I been doing as a leader, or what have I not been doing as a leader that has allowed the decline in the performance? That's my awakening moment. I'm gonna sit there, I'm gonna make sure I understand that stage first. I move to alignment. What is the outcome in this situation that I actually want? What do I want for my team? What do I want for the business? Because I need to understand what my outcome is that I'm focused on in the align phase. We move to 3 in this exact scenario. Now it's time to activate. What is the course of action? When is the conversation happening? Not tomorrow, next week. When is the conversation happening with that employee or that team member or that group that I need to have happen? And that decision moves you now into amplify. How do I make this build capability, not just fix this problem with this one employee? How do I make this a long-term growth for this team member that's been holding us back? And then we assess. What worked? Was I great at the conversation? Did I need to improve the way I do it next time? Where's the slip? Where's the leakage? What does next time look like for me so that when I recycle this 5A process and framework, I'm a little bit better at how I execute it next time? That is one conversation, 5 stages. A really big difference in managing that problem. And when you do that, you build a team that rallies around, and because they love a culture where the same problem doesn't repeat itself over and over and over, guys. Look, I don't really mind how you like to learn. Watch this video again and go deep into these 5 A's, the PLF framework, or if you want, take the PDF that's down in the comments below, rip that down, go through the PDF, dig into it. I don't care how you like to bring this into your culture, but this needs to be part of your operating system. It's 5 stages, 1 framework, simple, specific questions you can run within your business today. Links are on the description. They're all free because that's how we like to mentor and grow our culture and our team. But this is really, really important to me. There's specific capabilities. Each of those stages helping you go through those 5 keys. I love it. I'm excited. Let's stack some wins today with Presence on Purpose. Thanks for joining us.